Okay, so what we're going to work on now is the back shield that covers the fan, the compressor, and the condensing coil on the cooler. Now, we're going to be mounting our control center or the relays and all those things up here in this area. So what we're going to need to do is bring the wires from the inside of the cooler, where the I/O junction box is, out of that junction box and then through here, through this space, in order to get over here to the control center. The control center is going to mount up here. Remember, that's the bar that that has the relays and the terminals, etc. And I'll be showing you some more of that in a subsequent video. But the first thing we need to do is pop a hole in here, and then we're going to fit it with this bushing, because we don't want the rough or the sharp sheet metal to dig into our wires and short anything out. This particular guy is requires a 1 3/8 inch hole. That's what we're going to do. And for you guys with the far superior metric system, what is that, about 35 millimeters, something like that. Okay, so 1 3/8 hole saw is what I'm going to use here. And I've already measured this. I'm going to give it a shot at 3 inches up and 2 inches out from this edge. So 2 inches from here and 3 inches, maybe you can see that, up from the bottom. And I've cut these before, and sometimes they can go a little haywire because the sheet metal on these guys, the sheet metal is it's high strength sheet metal, believe it or not. And so it's not the easiest thing to saw a hole through. So, you know, in this case, don't forget your gloves, your safety goggles, and that kind of good stuff. It would be a good idea. I also have a sacrificial board here that I can drill into. That's going to help steady my bit, because this thing's going to want to wander around when it starts to cut through this metal. Like I said, I've had problems with these before. So hopefully I don't look like an idiot doing this. So we're going to just want to start out slow. Okay, so the pilot drill has essentially drilled through it, and it's down into my sacrificial wood. Now we're just going to be really careful. That pilot, I'm going to wait for my compressor to go off here. Compressor started. It actually, because this has a raised edge on it, it might be a little bit easier to work from the back side. So I'm going to check that out now that I got the pilot hole done. Yeah, it'll sit a little flatter on the back side, so I went ahead and drilled. This hole in the center and in the wood actually is going to stabilize me drilling through this hole. So I'm actually going to come back here and I'm going to clamp this piece of wood to the table so that it doesn't move around, because sometimes cutting holes in thin sheet metal can can give you a bit of a problem. Okay, so that's that. As you can see, that was not necessarily a very pretty scene. But we do have the hole in there, and that's really all that matters. I said these things are extremely difficult to drill into. And since I've done this before, even on a drill press, I can tell you that it's still a hassle. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get a hammer, and I'm just going to pound this edge flat, and then we're going to go ahead and snap this bushing in there. So thanks for watching.